It's a sunny afternoon. You can hear the sound of a basketball bouncing on the pavement, calling you to join the game. Your opponent stands in front of you, eyes focused, guarding you tightly. You're at the edge of the three-point lane, where every shot could bring victory and bragging rights. You hold the ball close to your chest, and with a sly grin, you dribble 4 times before spinning around smoothly. With a quick turn and a powerful jump, you launch into a fadeaway, feeling the excitement on the air. As you reach the highest point of your jump, you shout the name known by street ballers all around the world.
Kobe!
But then, your shot flies through the air, nearly making it, only to miss the basket completely. Imagine Kobe Bryant watching your brave attempt, his heart filling with pride at your tribute, and maybe even sharing a little laugh at your missed shot. Did you know that, rest in peace Black Mamba, Kobe was the 13th overall pick?
13th pick in the 1996 NBA Draft. The Charlotte Hornets select Kobe Bryant from Lower Merion High School.
And was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets and then traded to the Los Angeles Lakers on draft night in 1996. Let's not mince words here. The title of this video says, Lowest Draft Picks, and being picked 13th overall isn't exactly a shabby position. But come on man, we're talking about the Black Mamba. Well, you better keep your eyes glued to the screen because throughout this video, you will discover who's the incredible player that's not just the lowest pick in NBA history, but he's actually undrafted. Yes, you heard that right. The greatest undrafted NBA player of all time is about to be revealed, so keep watching until the end. First, let us introduce you to the pint-sized powerhouse who's been tearing it up for the Boston Celtics, Isaiah Thomas. This 5'9" dynamo led the Eastern Conference's numero uno seed into the NBA playoffs like a boss. Scoring a whopping 28.9 points per game, this dude's been schooling players left and right, showing them that size ain't everything. But wait, let's sit down for this one because you won't believe it. Our leading man, Isaiah Thomas, was picked dead last in the 2011 NBA Draft. He was 60th overall. Now, he's proven all those doubters wrong and making them eat their words. Next, let's put the spotlight on Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, the dynamic duo who painted the town silver and black with their stupendous skills on the court. Imagine that it's 2003, and our globetrotting duo is basking in the glow of victory as the San Antonio Spurs clinch the NBA Finals. But hey, let's step back and rewind a little. These two cats weren't your typical top draft picks. No, they were international sensations, plucked from obscurity and destined for greatness. Manu the Demon Blade Ginobili was nabbed at a mind-boggling 57th overall back in 1999. Then, in 2001, the French maestro Tony Parker swooped in at 28th overall. Who would have guessed that these two would go on to win not 1, not 2, but 4 championships with San Antonio, etching their names in the Hall of Fame? So let's raise a glass to these draft steals and to the enchanting stories yet untold. Keep your eyes peeled, because the next hidden gem could be lurking just around the corner. From Serbia to being crowned the Kia NBA Most Valuable Player, Nikola the Joker Jokic has risen to the top with a smile on his face and a sense of humor that would make even the grimmest of us chuckle. But that's not all. The Serbian sensation made history by becoming the first player from his country to win the MVP award and the lowest drafted player ever to do so. Can you imagine being drafted 41st overall and still becoming the MVP? Some even argue that Jokic is the biggest draft steal in NBA history because he was overlooked 40 times. Imagine the man who is now making 5 triple-doubles with 40-plus points was overlooked 40 times. Are they blind or what? Speaking of numbers, have you heard of the 50-40-90 Club? It's a prestigious group. Yeah, you're right. They're like the Illuminati. They're a group of players who have achieved the ultimate shooting feat in the NBA by hitting 50% from the field, 40% from beyond the arc, and 90% from the free throw line. And every year, when the conversation turns to who might be the next player to join this elite club, one name always seems to come up, and it's, drumroll please, the 39th pick in the 2012 draft, Chris Middleton. In NBA history, only 8 players have been able to hit this shooting trifecta, and just 12 total times. Next is the Golden State's very own Draymond Green. Well, this dude was snatched up in the second round, 35th overall, back in 2012. And let me tell you, some naysayers thought he was undersized for the power forward spot. But how they were wrong. Draymond made 2 All-Star teams. And let's not forget his crowning achievement being a major contributor to the Warriors title in 2015. Here's a piece of trivia for you. Did you know that Green punched Jordan Poole? If not, you better watch our video about the shocking teammate fights and beefs, the NBA's most heated moments. It's freaking hilarious. Anyways, let's move on to another dude's story. And it is like something straight out of Hollywood. DeAndre Jordan, chosen at number 35 in the draft, just like our man Draymond Green. Coincidence? I think not. DeAndre made the league's all-defensive team in both 2015 and 2016. And that's not all. He was also the reigning king of the boards, leading the league in rebounding in 2014 and 2015. Jimmy Butler! This guy has blossomed into one of the league's best players since Chicago took him 30th overall in 2011. He made the All-Star team 3 times in a row. And get this, he became one of the league's best defensive players. Despite being drafted 29th overall in 1976, Dennis Johnson is a true titan of the game. This Hall of Fame point guard won 3 NBA titles in his illustrious career. 1 with Seattle and 2 with Boston. Speaking of Dennis, here's the one who made it from being a janitor to an absolute legend, Dennis Rodman. He was drafted 27th overall in 1986 by the Detroit Pistons. From there, he bullied his way through the NBA and became a 5-time champion, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, and 7-time rebounding champion. He is notorious inside the court and can irritate his opponents by getting under their skin like pesky mosquitoes. He is the bad guy, the badass. But lately, there's a post on Twitter from Honk the Bobo saying, word around Boston was that every time the Bulls came to town, Rodman would buy out Toys R Us and deliver it to the Children's Hospital. No cameras, no reporters. Maybe if he'd been thinking of himself in those moments, he'd be considered interesting. Who's to say? What can you say about it? Leave your Rodman way opinion in the comments section below. Now, here he comes, the legendary undrafted player we've mentioned earlier, and you won't believe it. This dude, come on man, this is freaking incredible. He is the first ever undrafted player to become a 4-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year. Come again? Well, if 4 times wasn't enough, he went on to win an NBA championship, a 4-time All-Star, and now a Hall of Famer. Let us introduce, again, drum roll please, Benjamin Wallace. From signing with the Washington Bullets as an undrafted free agent, Wallace made his mark on the league playing over 1,000 games in a 15-year career, with various teams such as Washington, Orlando, Pistons, Chicago, and the Cavs. Wallace shares the record for the most NBA Defensive Player of the Year awards with Dikembe Mutombo. In his time with the Pistons, Wallace made 2 NBA Finals appearances, won a championship, and even had his number 3 jersey retired by the team. Seriously, let me look at this. Was he really undrafted? Well, we're not finished yet, because he was named a finalist for the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in 2019. And after a close call, he became the first undrafted player in history to be inducted into the Hollowed Hall of Fame. So, let's give him a round of applause. The 4-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year, 1-time NBA champion, and Hall of Famer. Remember, greatness can come from anywhere, even as an undrafted free agent. And by mentioning greatness can come from anywhere, hold on to your seats because you won't believe these following players. The Hall of Famer Joe Dumars. He made waves with his phenomenal skills on the court. And hey, did you know that Joe was drafted 18th overall out of McNeese State? And yes, we can't forget about Clyde the Glide Drexler, who was not only a member of the legendary 1992 Dream Team, but also won a title with Houston in 1995. And guess what? He was the 14th overall pick in 1983. Let's take a sidestep to the prolific scorer who made 8 All-Star teams in his career, Alex English. Would you believe that he was drafted 23rd overall in 1976? And again, it shows that great things come in unexpected packages. And talking about unexpected packages, how about Nate "Tiny" Archibald, who was taken 19th overall in 1970? He led the league in points and assists 3 seasons later, and won a title with Boston in 1981. Of course, he made the Hall of Fame in 1991. Impressive, isn't it?
What?
But don't think that greatness is limited to the past, because now we look at Kawhi Leonard, who was taken 15th overall in 2011.
The Indiana Pacers select Kawhi Leonard from San Diego State University.
And since then, he's became an MVP of the NBA Finals and made the last 2 All-Star teams. This list would not be the lowest undrafted players without Giannis Antetokounmpo, the ultimate gem who was selected 15th in the 2013 draft and has led the Milwaukee Bucks to the conference finals twice. Unbelievable, right? But wait until you hear about Donovan Mitchell, the 13th pick of a 2017 draft that produced a trio of All-Stars. He is one of the league's most dynamic scorers, and finally, well, we promise that even the Ben 10 fanatics won't believe who comes next. So, who does come next, you may ask? Well, he is living in the 11th house on the 11th lane, and with K being the 11th letter of the alphabet, a 4-time NBA champion who once lit up the Indiana Pacers for 60 points with just 11 dribbles. The 5-time All-Star was the 11th pick of the 2011 draft. Please welcome Klay Thompson. Klay earned All-NBA third team twice, in addition to making the NBA All-Defensive second team in 2019. You know what? Maybe Klay is the upgraded version of Ben 10, but instead of the Matrix, he is wearing 4 championship rings.